Hello, 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 and happy November. I have a feeling that this is going to be a very, very interesting November. You'll see that I am down at one of my all-time favorite places, and man, oh man, do I have something to say. And I really, really, really hope that I don't have any sound issues for you today. So I wanted to talk about something that shocked me even to realize. And it is kind of a twofold message. And the first part of that message is that I think that the way to come to terms with the current narrative as it is globally is to hold love for it and gratitude for it. And I'll tell you why. So first off, what's happening around the world was probably going to happen only slower, as all of the systems that are in place that have been built on kind of rocky and crumbly foundations did begin to slowly slide. And the situation at hand really kind of was a spur and a trigger into that. And so I have felt sad and isolated and confused and lost, and I mean we all have as a collective. We've felt pushback and we've felt fear, and honestly it's been hard, really. And I think that we could choose to let ourselves get swallowed up and buried in it, or we can choose to hold gratitude and love for it. And today I found love in my heart for the story that's outside of this moment. And I know that there is a message that, oh, this is the Great Reset. And unfortunately, that comes with an idea of fear at its basis. And we're really in a war between love and fear. And we can use this time as a way to truly understand and grasp what love is, and that love and fear are very opposite of each other, and that anytime that love fails, generally fear is the basis of that, and anytime that fear rises, love is being pushed out. And I'm going to talk about what I've kind of realized about love here in a second. So the idea that this is a great reset and that it's controlled by a very few is a really, really scary idea. But I want to tell you that long before I heard any conspiracy theories or fear-mongering surrounding the idea of a great reset, I always kind of thought that perhaps that a reset might be exactly what we needed. Because when you really look at what was normal and people wanting to go back to normal, those systems were inevitably going to crumble and were not truly for the benefit of humankind. I really believe that. And that's all of our systems. This one thing that's out there has created such a divide and so much confusion and hatred, and it's been spurred by fear. But we can actually look at it as a way to reset it all, but not from I'm under a bridge. Not from a malicious standpoint of a few that are trying to have control over the whole world, but what if we looked at it as an act of cosmic love and a chance to reset, and instead of the new normal being one of tyranny and totalitarianism and fear and control and separation and divide, what if this was actually just a catalyst of the cosmos for the actual betterment of humanity? And so we can actually have a new normal but one that we create, one that we control, one that is in truth and in love and truly for the benefit of the collective. If you think about how things were before, were you really that happy working 60 hours a week, hardly getting to enjoy your life, not getting to see your kids, stuck behind a wall, looking out a window, wishing that you were outside living? We were given a chance to really sit back and look at the way that things were, and given an opportunity to create the world that humans should be having, one where we get to live in our essence and our expression, in our sensuality and in our truth, and truly, truly, truly live in a place of connection to the whole and understanding that we're all one, but individuals in that whole. And really, love is the biggest part of that. They say that love is what makes the world go round. Well, right now that battle is it looks like it's being won by fear. And that fear is really controlled by a very few. And if we start to realize just how powerful we are and just how powerful love is, we have the capacity as human beings to recreate a world, to reset into something that is so beautiful and so amazing. I think we fear the idea of a reset because we fear the idea of change. And change is scary when you don't know what's coming. And so, yeah, we try to hold on and we try to go back to the way that things were because that's what we know. But if we surrender and let go of that which we knew and that which we believed is true and the only way, we could fall into a whole new breadth of opportunities that are more love-based, drive fear out, and we can create a whole new way of being collectively as individuals, experiencing our truth and our essences without fear attached to anything, totally living in love and surrender to flow and the truth of the cosmos and the fact that we are energy here to create and raise our frequency and to really do great things in our human form. What if we don't have to fear job losses or persecution or shaming or lack? Or what if we don't have to fear those things and we're just holding on to these ideas and these structures and fighting for things to go back to normal or fighting for, a certain side? What if we're only doing that because we don't realize how amazing and potentiate we are as humans? As souls in human bodies here to have an experience and live in our essence. So we can fight for capitalism and say that the world was built on capitalism, but at the end of the day, what if what is possible would never have been realized if none of this happened? What if what is possible is so much better than anything we know and anything that we can imagine? And all it really takes is just shifting that perspective, weeding out the fear, weeding out the malicious few, and reuniting as a global community that's part of a cosmic community that's actually driven by love. Which brings me, leaves. Which brings me to my next point. Oh my gosh, I hope the sound is working. I've been thinking about what love is. We can talk about love all we want, and I can say about love, and we get an idea about what love is when it comes to our children and our friends and our family and our lovers. But the essence of love is actually so much more deep. And what I've come to really totally understand about the idea of unconditional love is that it truly comes from within. And first we have to find that inside of ourselves. And then once that starts to grow inside of ourselves, it just flourishes and blossoms, and amazing, miraculous things can come about. So love is finding that forgiveness and that compassion. And to be completely honest, that's why I've realized I love everything bad and everyone bad and everything good. And at the end of the day, it's because, for the most part, compassion and forgiveness of these things that seem to be atrocities can actually shift the perspective of how we view it, and we can love them unconditionally, because they act as triggers to get us to the places that we can potentially go. So instead of moving forward in hate, what if we were to find forgiveness to those we feel have done us wrong, to situations that we feel are wrong, and start to work on the idea that through forgiveness and compassion and working together and owning the fact that we are great in just our own humanness, because we're connected to a greater whole, and that whole is love. Maybe all of this is happening for our benefit. And so I'm holding a lot more forgiveness for myself and compassion for myself and loving myself more. And that is allowing me to find that toward everybody and everything. Like this river, I love it unconditionally. My child, I love unconditionally. The ones that, for the most part, I know I'm saying that a lot, but the ones that you want to hate generally are the ones that probably actually need more love, because they lack that compassion and they need that forgiveness. And maybe from there we can all realize that we can come up with solutions where we do get to dance in the streets again and celebrate in jubilation and union and live in our essences and create a world that's unimaginably better than anything that we've ever experienced as humans. I truly believe that's possible. And it starts in here. It starts with unconditional love. And yeah, I do believe that there are dark forces, but if there's enough of us living in love and potential, then we can override that and we can see freedom again. We can see the greatness that I truly believe us as humans deserve. And even the ones that are acting out their part, chances are they got to that position because fear was winning. But I'm here to tell you, I truly, truly believe that love can win in this game. So love yourself, forgive yourself, find compassion for yourself. We all deserve it. If you can love a river or a tree or a bird or your child or your neighbor or your lover or anyone else, turn that in on you and understand that you're part of that and you deserve the love too. And then from there, think about how you would want to be treated and how you would want to see the world be if it truly was a liberated, love-filled, low fear or no fear existence. Miracles can happen. I believe that, and the magic is inside of us. I love you. I forgive you. I have compassion for you. And I have this because I found it for me. There's nothing that can't be forgiven. Forgiven, not forgotten. It doesn't mean that we allow the poor behaviors and the poor ways of doing things. But if we can at least forgive and understand that most decisions are made out of fear or trauma or torture, That's a step in a really good direction. Have a great day. Have a great love-filled November.